Awesome. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you joining us on this board of director meeting on September 17th, 2023. I guess we can dive right into it. We have a few pieces of unfinished business from our last call. Unless we want to do a roll call, but it looks like everybody is here. Top of the agenda on my notes is setting up some form of donation process, be it PayPal or Patreon, whatnot. To start that off, I did set up a spot fund account. We will need to link that to our bank account to fully actualize it, but it is currently up and running, and we have the tools to get it listed on our website and social media pages to begin. I guess I'll open the floor for anyone that wants to chime in.
So with that particular one, it is ready to accept payments coming in. We just don't have a way of withdrawing until we tie the bank account. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yeah. As far as I can tell from the site, we can begin donations now, but until we connect our Daggerhair bank account to it, we won't have any way to take the funds off of it.
All right, cool.
And it is currently through the executive director email, not through any personal name or identification. The only thing that's tied to me is the two-step authentication to my phone number, which we can change as we change board members.
Can you do me a favor and drop a link in BoD public to that particular site?
Yes, sir.
So we can all take a look at it. Because I'm not familiar with that particular processor.
You want it in BoD private?
Public, please.
Public. Okay.
Public meeting, so that's the chat I'm going off of.
The only board of directors public I have is the voice chat. I don't have a text chat for public.
Let me see if I can fix that for you.
I was going to say, Syl, you've screwed up once again.
No, it was being real weird. Syl helped me with a bunch of other chats.
And Syl, if you're around after this meeting, there's a couple other things I noticed when I was working on something else, permissions related, that you and I probably need to sort out as well. But it's nothing major. It's just
for the time being.
reminder.
Sorry, Richard.
So weird. Board of directors.
For the time being, I posted in BoD private. We'll get it on public for public review as soon as possible. Or if somebody else wants to post it now that it's in private.
Well, I pulled it up on private so that it can be seen in the video.
Perfect. Awesome.
Board of directors has the role. Why the heck? Let's give you admin. There. Try. Do you see it now?
Is it under the board of directors header?
Hold on. Let me just ping you directly. And
it should be right beneath BoD private.
I might have to restart my app to do it. Oh, you just sent it, so it's showing up in suggested, but it's still not showing up in the board of directors section.
Might need to just restart Discord.
Yeah, I imagine I'll have to.
Discord's kind of.
I'll do that after this call, and if it doesn't, I'll ping you and we'll work on it. Appreciate you getting that up. Oh. All right. Yeah, and if you guys want to dive into that on your own time and get any kind of feedback on it, go for it. I did some research on it. It has great reviews in comparison to GoFundMe. Seems pretty user-friendly. They don't take any funds on their own. The only time that there would be any deductions would be if somebody uses a credit card. There's just the standard processing fees that are put on by the actual credit card companies. Do we have anything else to dive into with this, or do we want to discuss the best next steps on how to advertise this?
Before we post it publicly, can we please get it linked to the bank account? Because
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'd rather not just
Yeah.
post it and then have funds get
Sitting in limbo.
marooned.
Yeah. Understandable. Yep.
As much as I agree with that, I kind of also disagree.
I mean, time is of the essence, and I understand that, but also like, let's not just dive in and then find out that there's some unexpected complication that screws us over, and then we have, again, marooned funds.
Yeah, I can get that linked as soon as we get the bank account on hand. I don't know if that's something any of you have, or if I should contact Kyrax directly.
It's going to need to be Kyrax. He's the only one that has that,
Okay.
except for maybe Sophia, but I doubt she has it.
Okay. Contact Kyrax.
Wait, what do you guys need?
The bank account info, like the routing number and that kind of fun stuff.
For the DBGA.
I've got all that.
You have it on hand? Oh, cool. Cool. If you can send that over to me, I can get that linked tomorrow morning or this evening.
But
I always forget that you were
Perfect.
the treasurer before Kyrax.
Useful.
It is. He's a man of many talents.
Which social medias sites are we most active on? Obviously, we have a big Facebook presence, so advertising on there would be useful. Getting it on the website, obviously. Do we have any other Instagram or Twitter?
Discord would be the other
Discord.
We
most
have,
trafficked.
I can't remember if I set up an Instagram account. I have to double check on Instagram, or if there isn't one, I'll set one up. Twitter is, I don't want to use Twitter, not only
Yeah,
because of
it's a
Elon
mess.
Musk, but also because at Dagger here and at Dagger here, I think at Dagger here Battle Games has been taken by other accounts, and despite those being obviously inactive for years, Twitter won't release them.
Okay.
So screw to it, Twitter. Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, and I'm happy to like share this link on personal sites. Like I primarily only use LinkedIn as a social media source. I don't know who on my LinkedIn would donate to something like this, but I'm happy to put it out there.
I mean, and then one of my things I want to do that I just need to get around to doing it is getting our Instagram set up and posting pictures, probably event photos, but I gotta look to see if like there's a way for the community to I guess they have to tag the account or something. I don't know. I don't use Instagram, so I'll have to figure it out.
Okay, and it's not huge. If we're on Facebook, Discord, and the website, those are probably the big three. But Instagram would definitely be a useful one if we do get it off the ground. Maybe we could make a concerted effort of getting some photos up there from events we all go to, if for no other reason than to show that we're active.
Is our Facebook page set up as an organization or as a business?
Oh, let me check. I think it's I think our page is set up as an organization.
Because you should be able to direct link the whatever gets posted there to Instagram if it's an image. Given that they're owned by the same company.
Yeah, I think that should be pretty easy for me to set up then. I don't think it's officially set up, but
Yeah, if you log in as the admin for the organization, you should be able to click on the business links and then go to the Instagram integration. Should be pretty easy.
I think we're set up as a business because I'm seeing ad stuff.
For going through the steps of kind of advertising our donation options, did we want to at least get a bring to market strategy ready for the merch idea? If there was even if it's just the stickers or something simple that we already have the formula for, it doesn't hurt to kind of throw that in there as well.
I think the big thing that I would like to see focused on would be outreach to the community for design and development of, say, 2024's official Dagger Hair logo for merch. Get it out there now so that we've got a couple months for it. Get people jacked up on the idea that, you know, we're going to have merch, that they're going to be able to have the opportunity to help design it. And then that'll give us another couple months to actually institute the actual, you know, use of it that still covers our ass. That way we're not trying to force something really quickly.
Well, if
Yeah.
it's beyond just a single year, we actually should probably design a brand new logo. I mean, we obviously have like the main Dagger Hair logo, but we don't have anything in a easier to use, like if you
Properly
the
formatted for modern
Dagger
use.
Hair Battle Games icon for the Discord is actually our Atari's.
It
Okay.
reminds me of Monster Energy drink.
I can see
So,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not use our Atari's branding for the DBGA.
I think you're welcome to it.
I mean, if we're gonna take that, which, you know, it is a good logo and I really do like it, but then, you know, it feel like, I don't know, if you guys are willing to give it to us, I'm glad to take it, but if you guys do want it, and I think you should talk to your guys about your chapter about it, because it is your
Yeah.
logo.
We can talk about it with the chapter, but I don't see it as a problem.
We can make modifications to
I'll,
it too. Use
I'll
it as
talk
the
to
base.
our BOD and AWC.
Yeah, I think what would probably be the best course of action is, you know, hey, this is the original Aratari born Dagger Hair logo that was, you know, the staple for forever. And keep that as kind of like the original OG type stuff, and
Yeah.
continue to give props for the founding organization and everything else like that, and then we could also do a public outreach for a possible redesign for future stuff, but keeping that one available as like the OG original stuff, because I mean I still have a bumper sticker with that one on it somewhere.
Yeah. Two somewhere. Some drawer.
I would really like our main logo to reflect a lot more avenues in Dagger here than just fighting, because we have such a strong presence now from a lot of other things. As much as I love the combat aspect, I think we should try to be, especially coming into our own, we should be trying to represent as many of the aspects as we can without making it too complicated.
Yeah,
I think
that sounds great. Yeah, have some kind of a heraldry that shows like the bardic aspects and the crafting aspects and the fighting aspects. That would be cool.
Yeah,
I agree with that, Cyril, entirely. We can kind of frame that too. If we are having this as a community competition of sorts to build a new logo or to build a 2024 logo, kind of highlight some of the things that we're looking for.
Oh, we could also
would be,
highlight different aspects of things, you know, where you have one main logo that is the catch-all for the organization, and then different aspects for merchandising for other parts of it. So, you know, like things that are specifically tailored to the Bardic and the Ragu and you know, stuff like that. But it's one of the big things that I always hate when you start talking about logo stuff for organizations is you always want to go with the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. You know, if you look at every successful logo out there,
True.
every major brand has simplified their logos over the last decade. You know, it becomes much easier to recognize worldwide.
Yeah, probably Starbucks has the most complicated logo major corporate logo out there. But
I would actually argue
that's
that
cool.
before Starbucks, it was Cadillac. Did you know that there were ducks in the Cadillac logo?
No, I did not. But
Nobody
I don't
does
have a
because
Ca-
they
I
look
don't have
like
a
little
Cadillac.
effing
The
dots
history
now.
lesson.
You know, it's they realized that nobody understood that there were ducks in the logo. So, but yeah, Starbucks went from a hand drawn, extremely complicated mermaid logo to a green blob, green and white blob. But you can tell it's Starbucks. McDonald's has gone from, you know, the burger guy to an M. You know, look at Twitter. It went from a little bird to an X.
Is there,
Just change one of the
kind of
weapons
still on the
to
same
anything.
topic, is there any downside to us having multiple logo options? You said there's no overhead costs. This is kind of like a pay as you produce platform. Should we allow chapters and units to submit their unit and chapter logos so
Yes,
people can
there's actually
purchase them
nothing.
through our website?
There's nothing that prevents a chapter from doing this on their own either.
We could give them the option of doing it through Daggerhair, and Daggerhair gets the proceeds.
That's also, yeah, we could do that too, where they can upload their image or send the image to us, and then we can put it up and then say, hey, we'd also like to lay your chapter's stuff up there available to the general public too. So if somebody wants to get, you know, say Aratari comes up with their own design, they can go, you know, we want the Aratari one. Oh God,
Yeah.
the Battle
And
Lords.
obviously, we won't discourage them if they want to do it themselves, but if they would like to volunteer their logo, I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah, see, like the only thing that you have to worry about is we would have to kind of keep an eye out as to whether or not something is
Appropriate.
well, copyright infringement is the other worry that I would have.
But
Yeah,
that's
we can't have the
copyright infringement's
Urukai putting the Warhammer Orc logo up there.
Yeah,
GW
well,
would do us in a
copyright
heartbeat.
infringement's not too hard to find or deal with because a reverse image search on Google generally yields fairly good results.
All right.
But
as
yeah,
long as you're not
there's
having, like,
nothing
40K.
that prevents us from using multiple imagery. But I would like to maintain that the organization controls aspect of what logos are used on the organizational sales platform. That we can't just
100%.
let somebody upload an image and then print a shirt that comes from Dagger here, because they could just use a modern reference, a big old FU Biden, and then
Yeah, they can
the
submit it
Dagger
to
here
us for
logo
review,
on there,
and
and
we
we're
can do
like,
our due
we
diligence.
didn't do that,
Yeah.
you know.
But we can have them submit it to us, or probably us over the chapter council, and then we can do our due diligence and make sure we're not going to get sued over something.
Yeah, and that ultimately should be in the hands of finance, but for now, I can.
I'll make a note of
I'm
that.
most
Yeah, we can
familiar
work
with how
together.
this website's set up, so I can start running that stuff. If we get it
Perfect.
set up.
I think honestly, Sil, what we could probably do for something like that is we could set up a marketing team that answers directly to you and finance.
If this takes off, let's do that. It might be a little arduous to do that at the beginning, but if it starts taking off, I don't see why
The
not.
first step is just finding
Someone
people
to make
who are
t-shirts.
willing to submit graphic design. Give us volunteer graphic designs.
First step's still getting our banking information straightened out and getting our
Well,
payment portal.
too.
I don't want to beat
Well,
that dead
regardless-
horse. It's basically pulp at this point in time. I've made Alpo out of that dead horse.
Even regardless of the banking situation, just getting a new logo is just a good idea in general and something that I've been wanting to do.
Yeah, I think if we made the announcement to the public that we're looking for it, that would kind of steamroll into itself and people would take off. We've got some absolutely amazing creative people out there. That,
No
you know,
shortage of them.
whipping up a DAG logo for some of these people is going to be 15 seconds on the computer and they'll have it done and it'll look absolutely amazing. Yeah, whereas somebody like me, I'm going to sit there and draw it out and it's going to take me 3 months.
You and me both, man.
Well, Alecris, let's have that announcement come from you. I think it'd be a good look for the executive director
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
looking for that stuff directly. If it comes from me, I think it's still good. It's still good, but like it doesn't show as much initiative on the
Yeah.
organization. So I'll help you draft an advertisement for that we can post on our social media, and I'll have it signed by you.
Perfect.
And then,
Yeah,
then people will be coming to you. That's the other side of it.
let's tie the donation link advertising to that as well.
Yeah, well, that'll be a
Let's do
separate.
like one announcement.
No.
Or you want to do two separate?
We'll do two separate.
Okay.
And we'll split them up on days. Like if you have the donation thing set up on a tomorrow or whatever, then on Friday we'll post the looking for a graphic designer.
Okay, perfect. So I will I'll reach out to you tomorrow after I get the bank account linked and we can get that off the ground. Awesome. Anything else on this topic, or we're ready to move on to the next one?
I think we're good.
Okay. We have a trailer that's that nobody knows where it came from. I checked with Will Scarlett, and he has no idea if it's his. He just said to get rid of it if it is. So I don't know how we want to handle that trailer that we discussed last fall.
All right, so that's the
If
one
it
that
is not
leaks
ours, it's
horribly,
his, and he
correct?
doesn't care. I can't say for certain. I've never even seen it.
Is that the one that's the one that actually is now in Akron, correct?
Who moved it?
I thought that. I know. Wait, that was Galadriel's family moved the one to Akron, and it was unloaded by.
Yeah, there's one that should be at Cooper's that we paid to have it stored there for quite some time, sometime until next year.
Shoot. Ericos.
Do we have any registration?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm
We
having a
don't.
senior moment with the event coordinator from RAG this past year. What was his
So
name?
Leon and Sophia would be the two members of the business council who have this information.
Yeah, we need to talk to Leon and Sophia about what was actually in that trailer and whether or not we need to get anything out or if we can just.
Or do you have a way to contact Sophia?
Yes, I do. I actually have. It's her birthday today, also.
I was trying to be funny, man.
Yeah, that's my future daughter-in-law. I'll be right back. Some alarms going off.
Do we have like the license plate number of that trailer or any other registration info?
I don't have that handy. I'm sure.
Talk to Leon and
sure
Sophia.
someone does.
Leon and Sophia have been handling this.
Sorry, somebody set an alarm for 8:37 p.m. at my house. I don't know why. Apparently, I needed to wake up right about now. Yeah, I'll get with Sophia.
Well, you were having a senior moment.
I was definitely having a senior moment. I'm actually looking to see if I have Leon. Okay, I've got Leon's contact too.
I have contact info for both of them.
I've got both their phone numbers. I was looking to see if Leon had sent me the photos of the inside of that trailer. I know he sent them to Sophia. I'm digging through my phone real quick.
When I was talking with Scarlett, he alluded to it being like power tools and medical equipment.
That was years ago.
Yeah, it could have changed since he saw it. It's probably a bunch of mouse nests at this point.
A lot of it was mouse nests. A lot of it was walls for the field battle stuff.
Okay.
Basically, when they went to Cooper's this year for Reg, they pulled out everything that was basically usable and brought it to Spring Valley for use at the site, and then some things were sent on their merry way from there. I don't believe we had any power tools left over in there. I could be mistaken, though. It would probably be in our better interest to have somebody go out to Cooper's and, at the very least, supervise unloading that trailer, and then
Is it locked? Do we need a key to get into it?
it should be locked.
Do we know who has that key?
I know Leon and Sophia had keys for it at Rag.
Okay. If there's any way to get a hold of those keys, I can stop out on my way to Blood Moon. Or back from
Leon's Northern Virginia and Sophia's Toledo.
Okay, Toledo's not far from me.
We can definitely figure something out, or maybe we know somebody from Toledo that's going to Blood Moon. Yeah, I'll reach out to Sophia tomorrow because I know she's out for dinner tonight. We'll get that figured out, but we could definitely get somebody out to the Cooper site and do that. My personal suggestion, if that's the leaky trailer, I mean, I'd never really had any intention for any of the trailers as assets anyways, because I was pretty sure that they were both leaky disasters.
Yeah.
Maybe the Coopers would be
Surrender
willing
them
to
to
just take
Coopers.
it off of our hands and use it as an
Correct me if I'm
on-site
wrong,
storage.
but I think the agreement we have with Coopers allots for us to surrender property such as that to them.
What do you mean?
I think there was language in the contract with Coopers that allows us to surrender the trailer to them, like surrender ownership of it to them.
That's without payment for the lot, like any storage lot, but we're currently paid up through August of next year.
Okay.
On that lot.
Do we want to, like, are we going to try and refurbish this trailer with rotted out bearings and leaking?
It can always be abandoned. I think that's what Alec was saying.
Yeah, what I was going to say, instead of just abandoning it to the Coopers, let them know that we have no intention of using it ever again. And if they would like to continue using it, they're welcome to. If they want to crush it and throw it away, they can.
Okay. We just need to
communicate with Coopers. Yeah, we got to make sure that we don't have anything useful in there, and then we got to actually talk to the Coopers. So could all be done in one day. Just somebody go up there and take a look, and if there is anything worthwhile in there, like 6 power drills, pull them out.
I'll get it if it ends up being Scarlett's trailer and not ours. I'll get it in writing from him that we can do that.
See, that's the other thing is without the title,
or just have him tell them.
We have no idea. This was one of my other points of contention is the corporation was not maintaining records correctly. We should know whose trailer this is. There should be a copy of the title somewhere.
Yeah, I can see what you were talking about earlier. We don't want to inherit the liability that the previous teams handed off to us with that organization.
If the trailer is salvageable, let me know. My parents live 45 minutes away. I could see, and they have 30 acres of land.
Okay.
That's if it's salvageable.
Are you interested in hosting events?
I'll rot it out. Whatever truck.
God damn it, Alec, right into it. We need a new rec site, damn it. Can we go to Sill's parents?
I was seriously thinking, if it had walls in it, is it worth me driving up there and buying it from my chapter for the walls and the trailer and doing stuff down here? It was in the back of my head.
So here was my impression. I know Olaf was looking to try and salvage as much stuff as he possibly could from the trailers when we mentioned that we were going to be getting rid of it, and he saw that it was all OSB stuff and had been leaked on. So all of the OSB had basically just expanded and exploded. I don't think there's anything wall-wise that's worth a shit. I would imagine it's a exploded OSB moldy mess.
Gotcha.
The trailer itself may be salvageable, and there may in fact be some power tools, because I don't remember anybody actually saying we found the drills that we were supposed to have. The radios were all accounted for, but we also didn't have a list of what we should have had. Yeah, everybody kept saying that we had power tools that had been acquired, but they weren't showing up. The radios, the laptops, the tablets, those were all accounted for, and those are still accounted for.
A little bit of an aside, if we do end up getting another organization off the ground to run a similar event, we should probably have the SOPs designed for maintaining inventory and keeping proper records. That way we don't have to worry about this during BoD handoffs in the future.
That's why we have a chapter liaison. Hi, Shirley.
Well, honestly, here's since you brought that up, if Dagger here wishes to hold a national event, there's no need to set up another LLC with which to do it. We are perfectly
You wouldn't want to do
capable.
that just for the liability screen?
No, because it doesn't really offer any liability screen at that point in time. An LLC owned by an LLC doesn't offer you any more liability protection. It really doesn't. We're already an established nonprofit organization.
Articles of organization for the Reg LLC, there's nothing in it that ties it to Dagger Hair.
Except for the fact that the single shareholder was Dagger Hair.
Yeah, so the liability
would have gone to the president of Dagger Hair.
Was an individual. Yeah, but as an individual, not as the organization.
Well, see, that's the thing. It did go because the person held the position of president of the DBGA.
Yeah, but nowhere in the rag bylaws does it ever mention anything about that. The only thing that gives them that power is the DBGA bylaws.
No,
truly, the rag LLC is a standalone.
No, that was okay. So here's where you're missing out on a point. The articles of agreement for the LLC and the bylaws are two completely different things. The articles of agreement are what binds the corporation together. The bylaws are how they are supposed to do their business.
Okay. Hold off, do not send me the articles then.
I'll send you a copy of the articles of agreement.
Thank you.
Because Olaf didn't send me the bylaws.
Perfect.
But yeah, I can send you a copy of the articles of agreement that were sent by the attorney, and they're signed by all the signatory members.
Okay. So even if we do keep a national event in-house, we probably still should have set SOPs for how to operate it and how to record events.
Oh yeah, it should all be written out on how it's done, and it should be done a very specific way, but there's no reason to form another LLC to do it.
Okay, perfect. And we have the minds here to kind of sit down and map that out. So it seems like we have a good team.
Well, and it's my intention for the next chapter council meeting to get them to start talking about events.
Yeah.
And getting more events. I mean, like, it's been pretty dead. I mean, I'm sure chapters in Texas are doing stuff. I'm sure the chapters scattered are doing stuff independently, but they're not coordinating with each other as far as I'm aware. So I'm gonna get it on the agenda for them to start talking about that stuff, so that we can talk about a national event.
Ericos, do you have a better copy of that, or could you acquire a better copy of that?
Yeah, I was just I sent it to myself and it resized it. It's pretty crappy.
If you have a good copy of that, if you could send that to records@daggerhair.com, that'd be awesome.
Just post it here.
Because I can't read any of that.
Yeah, I know.
No, actually, could you please email that to records?
Records@daggerhair.com.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Will do.
Thank you kindly. And if you have any other documentation that you feel that I should have or we should have as an organization, send it to that email address. That way it carries
This
over.
agreement is the one that Guys has with Coopers. This is not anything to do with Ragnarok.
That's fine, as long as it's got the actual paperwork of what they were using.
Exactly.
Since
That's
you've
the
blocked
text.
out all the private information, it's perfect.
Yep, I'll read you this.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
All right, so yeah, as far as a national event goes, Alucrest, my personal opinion is that until the chapters kind of get their, excuse my language, shit together and start holding their own events on a regular basis, national events kind of the last thing we need to worry about.
Yeah. Would we consider doing like regional events, quarterly regional events, and rotating them around the country? That way we're pushing 400 or 500 people and
Well,
helping these
we've got
chapters
to
get
get
ground.
those events up to that point. So we've got a couple events that we could kind of look at for that. Because we have people like Ericos that's running Gates of Fire and is running another event this summer in Pennsylvania. That would be a regional one. But we've also got like Orc Wars down south that could be looked at. But those are the only two significant official Dagger here events. I would love to look at something like Winter War, but Winter War is not a Dagger here event.
I've talked to Will. I figured you were going there, by the way, so that's why I'm butting in. I've talked to Will with Winter War, and I also know he's been approached by Bell. And more or less, the official thing is, yeah, we're just happy doing our own thing.
Yeah, they don't want to get tied into any of the politics of whatever organization is fighting. So until we have another region of Dagger here that's consistently hosting a 400 or 500 person event, we don't really have a need to do this.
We have an event in Texas that usually pulls 300 plus, but it's an interesting event in how it's hosted. It is a DAG event. That's the DAG rules, but it's not hosted by a DAG chapter. It's hosted by a cross game unit.
What are some perks that we can give chapters for hosting a DAG official event? What are something that we can do that's going to say like, hey, it's your
Market
event's gonna
for
be
them,
better.
advertise.
Yeah, so
Fund.
they get right now, just because we have the infrastructure for it. Every event, non-DAG or DAG, gets posted on the Facebook group, gets posted on the Discord. If they're DAG event specifically, they get the calendar event on our website, and they get a if they're an actual event, not just a day battle, they get a channel in our Discord server.
Okay. Do you think maybe we can tie in our logo idea to the event thing? Like if you make an event that's consistently bringing enough people, we'll literally supply your logo for you. Like I don't know.
Well, that requires us having a graphic designer on staff.
Well,
What we could do in the
Well,
future, though,
they send us
is
the
we
logo.
could provide our established marketing. Once we establish our merchandising, that we could put up their event T-shirts through said thing, but we're kind of putting the cart before the horse on a lot of these things right now. We are contractually obligated to provide certain things to the chapters, which is mainly advertising and the word of mouth. The unfortunate thing is, as it stands right now, we as an organization are not really that well poised to reach more people than they can reach on their own. Because
would we, as the BOD, be interested in hosting an event instead of relying on a chapter to get something off the ground?
It's not my position to say. let me just preface that one that way. That is not my position to say. If you, as the executive director, would like to spearhead trying to do that, be my guest. If you want my honest opinion, I'll give you my honest opinion. But that's all it's going to be, is my opinion.
Okay. Is your opinion something you want on the record right now?
Yeah, I'll put it on the record. I don't have a problem with that. I think there are so many other things that, as an organization, we need to deal with that piecing together a quote-unquote national event is the least of our concerns. I think our
It doesn't
primary
need to be
concern,
national. We could find a hole in the foam fighting schedule. Find
but see,
a
that's the
month
thing.
where no one's doing anything.
As the board of directors, as the actual national organization, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, like obviously we would advertise it nationally, but we don't need to expect it to be a 2,000 person event.
No, I wouldn't expect it to be a 200 person event, because at this point in time, we still need to focus on repairing our brand.
Yeah.
The
Which I do
reason that
think needs to
Dagger
be
here is
repaired.
we are making forward strides. I agree with that. We are making forward strides, but we are still, the fire's not even out in the dumpster. It's being hosed down at the moment, but it's still on fire. Let's wait until it's a smoldering wreck before we try and climb out of it. You know, there's still a lot to do. That, you know, we don't even have a payment processor, and if we can't do that, how in the hell are we gonna put together an event? The organization can't even accept money.
Like Bell just did PayPal. You either pay cash or you pay through PayPal.
Yeah, but they've got their PayPal shit set up. We don't.
Yeah, well, by tomorrow, we'll have our spot fund off the ground.
But we don't have a PayPal account. We don't have a PayPal account to link to it.
It doesn't need to be PayPal. If we have the bank account linked to spot fund,
Right,
okay.
People can.
You're.
I think
go ahead.
We're getting too far into the weeds for this. Let's. I think we can all agree at least to table it right now. However, I will say that again, I'm going to bring up to the chapter council that they should be starting to talk about events and coordinating with each other for events, and let the chapters handle that with support from me, because that is my job.
Okay.
I concur.
Could we offer to assist them? Like, I'm sure there are chapters that would like to run events but might not have the manpower or might not have the experience. Like, I would absolutely drive wherever.
That's why we have a chapter liaison, and Cirile should be. I'm sorry for throwing you into this, Cirile, but that's part of Cirile's job, is to help the chapters find those resources, and then it's my job to help coordinate the advertising and marketing side of it.
Elf tossing, I love it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, throw me on your list.
You don't have any dwarves, so it makes sense.
Need assistance? I'm happy to personally do that with them.
But let's go to the chapter council first and say, hey guys, let's start talking about events, even just day battles. Let's get it on the calendar. Let's if you're actually having an event, let's get it on. Let's get some advertising set up. Have your marketing people, if you have any, come talk to me so that I can help support that stuff. Again, like Ericos is doing Gates of Fire. I would love to talk to Ericos's guys so that I can signal boost their efforts, because they did some really good stuff last year, and I wasn't involved in any of it, and I didn't know that it was going on until like basically the event was all right on top of us, and then I had like no time to really coordinate anything.
Yeah.
Trent brought up an interesting question right there. He said, should I put it on the agenda for the CC to discuss, or does the BOD want to address the CC? Sil, how would you rather handle that? Do you want it to be just brought up by Trent, or do you want to like request to talk to them about it?
Let's put it on the agenda for the CC to discuss, and I will kick off the initial conversation, because I plan on being on at that meeting.
All right, so it sounds like you want to actually address the chapter council.
Yeah, I'll address the chapter council, because they need to hear from me that I have these resources. They need to understand what I have and what Cirile is for if she's also in attendance. I'm not going to throw her under the bus at a meeting she's not attending, but yeah,
thank you, Trent.
It'll be the board of directors addressing.
Yeah, I appreciate you putting that question out there. It's good.
Yeah, sorry, Trent. I didn't realize you were there. I'm not.
He's quiet tonight.
No, I just didn't want to talk because this is your guys' meeting, so I'm just here listening and providing what I can.
But you're
It's
you're
all of our
also
meetings.
welcome. You're welcome to chime in. This is a public meeting. We'll talk trash about you in the private one afterwards.
That's more than enough. Everyone needs me. It's all good.
Okay.
So I'll
Do
be
we have
right back.
anything else we wanted to add to this conversation, or do we want to move on?
Yeah, I sent that trailer agreement to you,
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
to records, and also posted it here.
Awesome.
Avox, you had mentioned, might have been 2 or 3 weeks ago, that you had somebody interested in the app development.
Absolutely. All I need is a map on what you guys want, and he'll make
Just kind of like a bullet point breakdown
yeah,
on what we
like
need.
yeah, exactly. Like all I need to do is break down exactly what we need. I'll go over it with them. Obviously, it's going to cost something. And
Yeah,
go
at
from
least
there.
we get that price mapped.
Yeah.
Okay. Who has a clear understanding of what we need this app to do?
Are we talking
Well,
about the?
I mean, I think we can make the app super like symbiotic with our needs when it comes to making the chapters have more events. I mean, we could have half the event like app track the people, obviously as they show up to the event, and we can use the other
Similar,
half of
yes.
the
We're
app.
talking about the kind of like the orc.
Kind of like the orc.
track,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was.
yeah, the
again,
one.
senior moment.
No, that was a little unclear. I just kind of jumped into it, but yeah, it was kind of the one that you were outlining to me at Bragg.
And you can use the other half of the app literally for the chapter to maybe even make hosting an event way easier. I think it's really important to make hosting an event for a chapter as easy as possible if you want chapters to host more events. It needs to be as easy as doing a couple things in your phone, and then you'll start seeing smaller events first, like Demorin saying. I think he's right. You can't just like go into a huge event when you don't even have big local events. I think you need to build the small, then and have everyone get together and saying, okay, we have enough people to do a bigger one. So like the easier it is for a chapter to host their own thing and do their own thing, I think that's our job, or should be, Dagger Hair's job is to make that literally as easy as possible to do. Like we can't focus on the individual trees. We need to focus on planting the seeds, grow the forest.
Yeah.
Good analogy. I like it.
Mm.
Yeah. So as far as what we kind of need for that, I think the easiest way to do it would be to sit down and just have like a brainstorming meeting with the potential people that are interested in possibly doing it. I know that doesn't provide the developer with very much information, but they may also have developer side insights into what we really want.
Also very true.
Yeah, we can say, oh, we want this great app that does this, and they're like, you're a fucking moron. It'll never work. You need this. Oh, okay. Well, cool. That's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you work
Who on our team
synergistically.
can speak well to those needs? Then is that you?
I think between myself and Reacher, we've definitely got familiarity with the system that they're looking for, but I mean, I would say cap whatever meeting at like 5 people so it doesn't get too much, but
agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. To be clear, make sure I didn't miss it. What meeting are you talking?
We're talking about meeting with a potential developer to work on instituting something like the org system for DAG.
Oh, yeah, I actually have a contact for the org. He's one of the original developers of it.
That's
I
perfect.
believe.
So you can even like bounce. Yeah, that's perfect. Bounce
Yeah,
prices.
no. One of the original. I think he's still one of the web admins for the current org. Is localish to me.
Brilliant.
So, man, I guess the big thing is, who are we talking about, D-Box?
It's an old friend of mine actually. He actually hit me up out of the blue looking for work for my actual company. Unfortunately, my company wasn't interested in the work, but this happened to be something we were discussing at the same time. And I'm like, well, GNS Metals doesn't necessarily want your service, but I know a smaller organization that could be interested in providing this app to you, and then that perked his interest, and he's been kind of keeping up on me and seeing what's going on with it ever since.
All right. Do you want to send him an invite to the Discord, and then we can map out a time to have a meet?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd also pitch Zekard's name in there because he's also expressed interest in doing stuff, and fortunately, I haven't had the capacity to give him any real stuff to chew on.
Yeah, it's good to have a couple avenues because you can bounce prices off each other. I mean, it's never good to just say, hey, this is what I'm doing and how much it costs. Oh, that's expensive, and then just go with it because that's your only option. It's very good to have multiple avenues to see which one.
Yeah, especially when you could shock the shit out of the price people with, well, I got this guy over here that's going to do it for free. What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to insult your capabilities, but
yeah.
But I also don't want to settle for. I think we've had this problem in the past where we as an organization have settled for subpar items or services because they were in fact free.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
we can see if the company that Blackhawk used is still available.
Not going there, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, but see that there's another that's a prime example right there. That there are issues with how shit was done in the past, and I'd like to not make the same mistakes over and over again.
Fair.
Keeping options open is always a good thing.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Is there any other business that you guys wanted to bring up?
I would like to bring up one bit of business.
Okay.
And this is going to be directed right at you, Alacrist.
Yes, sir.
Given, and again, this is just my opinion, but I would like to see a little bit more public-facing interaction on your part.
Fair. I can do that.
So that the general public knows that you are the executive director, knows that you're moving forward with some projects, even if you're just telling them, hey, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. I can't tell you shit about it, but if you want to complain about it, I'm your man. Especially as we move into the fall, we are going to rapidly approach the shit flinging season. When the keyboard warriors stop flinging swords and start flinging shit online.
Or at home. Yeah.
The last major events of the season tend to be October. So we got a month to prepare for some major online.
Man, y'all crazy. Our
Shut
largest
up.
event in Texas is in January.
Shut up. You couldn't move for 3 months because people melted when they went out the door. I want to hear.
Well, y'all are welcome to come fight in January.
No,
we'll be there.
Yep,
it's like 12 degrees below zero here in January. Screw you.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all are welcome to come down here and fight.
It's too cold to even leave the house to go to
Hot
Texas.
in the day, but still really cold as fuck at night, though.
Yeah, we're having 20-degree temperature differentials right now.
Yeah. A couple years ago, it actually froze one night at that event, which was unheard of.
Isn't that the same time that like Texas's entire power grid went down?
That might have been the same year. Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the only thing that I wanted to see, Algris. It's just a little bit more of a, hey, we're here, we're still listening. I know Sierra does some decent outreach, and I know Sil does some stuff. But
is this primarily on Discord, or is there another medium that would be impactful to build a presence on?
Well, I think the big way is if you can coordinate with Sil and say, hey, Sil, I have this message that I would like to get out, where you type up a draft of whatever your message is. Hey, we've got this new crowdfunding thing. That's going to be a good one. We're looking for a new logo design. That's going to be another good one. But have like another 2 of them in the pipeline so that when he does those, you've got more stuff to go out, and you don't have to worry about which avenues we're going to put this out on. That's Sill's job. You
Okay.
just come up with the statement and then let Sill distribute it for you.
Yeah.
And
that
then we let
sounds like
Cirile
a good
deal
plan.
with the kickback of when it comes back.
But I do
Awesome.
think that this is going to be a pretty quiet winter, because there hasn't been any.
Damn it, Sil, you
major
used that Q
incidents.
word.
I'll kick him in the nuts
Yeah,
next time I
knock
see
on
him.
wood right now.
No, I don't. As far as I'm aware, there hasn't been anything major for people to bitch about.
No, there haven't been enough Dagger Here events for people to bitch about.
No, you just
Okay.
used a
They'll bitch
particular
about that.
word.
It's
That's
gonna
all.
be quiet.
It's quiet on our front. Go look at the bell boards. The bell boards are not quiet right now.
Well, that's Bell's problem, not
It
mine.
is exactly Bell's problem. You
Yeah,
are correct.
Hopefully there'll be a mass exodus from them next year.
Quite possibly.
Jesus.
We'll see the first Bell split.
What's going on there? Ooh.
That's for something after the meeting, discussing what's going on there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Alecris, if you could make it to a CC meeting, it might be beneficial just so you can hear what people are talking about it and, who's being vocal and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can jump on the next one. I'd love to.
So
That's the one I'm
I've tried to
assuming
move
that we're
this
talking about the
forward.
events as well.
Trent, since you brought that
I'm
up,
trying to move this accordingly. Yes.
now that you're in charge of like wrestling all those cats into order, what is the general feeling of the CC towards BOD involvement in their meetings?
I haven't noticed anything negative. I mean, you guys appear and we talk, and I think it's everyone. No one gives a crap as long as everyone's just going with the flow and respecting hands and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think it's an issue.
Okay, cool. My only concern there was as I was leaving the executive director's post, I know that there was some bad blood with people thinking that I was trying to steer the chapter council. And I want to make sure that that's avoided for every future BOD position moving forward, because it's not our job and it's not our intent. It never was.
Yeah, we're a resource for them. Yeah.
I didn't hear anything like that. The few grumblings I did hear was that sometimes BOD jumps in the middle of someone's statement. So that was the only thing I heard. But I mean, that you guys are the authority of knowing what's going on, and odds are that person was addressing you. So as long as it's a back and forth, I'm gonna let it play out.
Gotcha.
That's how I read the situation a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's also important for us to remember that the CC meetings are specifically that. They are chapter council meetings. We are guests for them there.
But I do think, well, yes, it is their meeting, and that you guys are there at their leisure, whatever. I still think it's important for you guys to be there because it lets them know that you guys are paying attention.
Yeah, that's a good point. We do care, and we've tried to be at a whole bunch of them, if not as many of us as possible, at least one of us. And that's something that we did discuss last year. Active participation and active involvement. Next meeting for BOD or next meeting for CC, Ericos?
Yeah, before we break, we should set the next meeting.
I say December, but I might call an emergency meeting if finances don't get moving. But that's Alecris.
Yeah, it seems like we have a kind of a clear roadmap. I'll be working with you, Sil, on a couple announcements here to get donations and community outreach posted.
I would suggest like mid-November then. Pre-Thanksgiving.
Schedule.
Yeah, that works for me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see a reason for us to really need to meet unless something comes up at the CC meetings.
In which case we can just call another meeting. Sooner than that.
The next CC meeting is until December, so
Wait, when is it?
it's in December, December 3rd.
Shoot, I thought they were going to do something in October.
I mean, no one had brought anything up in the last one. October was mentioned, but when we took the vote, I think December 3rd took the date.
Do you happen to recall the time? I'll put it in my calendar right now.
7 p.m. is what I have.
Yeah, they're
7
always
p.m.
7
Thank you.
p.m.
As noted before, like that's weren't perfect.
Wasn't there an
Yeah.
issue that had to be discussed regarding?
The arbiter thing that never got seconded.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that yeah. They decided. To
Yeah. Randor proposed it and no one seconded it. So.
Okay. So you guys are December 3rd?
I can check again, but yeah, I believe it's December 3rd.
The next CC meeting is December 3rd at 7 p.m.
Do we need to meet before them for anything, guys?
We could check in on that community outreach for the logo design and to discuss like donation advertising strategies. It'll give us a whole month to, I guess we have 2 weeks now where Syl and I can get some things posted, and it gives us a month to see how it works out and then discuss it before the CC meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're December. I want to have them start talking about events well before then. They should start planning for their calendars like
Okay.
now.
I mean, and to be honest with you, there's a ton that the CC needs to be doing, but I mean, it never got done in the last year, so I guess it shouldn't matter to me.
Well, you have the guy who writes the agenda right here. What do they need to do?
There is, Trent, I'll go back and I will dig up the list from a year ago of things to do, and I will send it to you. Because there is quite a bit. I mean, everything from, I think the chapter council is what needs to define what a member is, what an active chapter is, because they're made up of active chapters. We need to have all that wording handy, so when we do get around to finally updating our chapter contract and stuff, that wording and definitions can be inserted. There is a handful of other things I think that the chapter council should have taken care of, and I'll go dig up the list. There was a list made a while back.
Okay.
Of
Yeah, we
just
can look it up.
things to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw we had a back and forth about bylaws and stuff with the contract and everything. I'm sure everyone here at this table cross games to some extent. Yeah.
Yes.
I think I do.
So, is Dagger here the only organization that says you must be only an organization chapter to be a chapter in that game?
No.
We're no longer, I don't believe we're holding to that any longer.
Well, to address what you're specifically saying, Trent, the SCA also has something very specific about that.
That's a different market.
Now,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
the point of what it comes down to is
developed.
the chapter contract between us and the chapter. We're only dealing with the chapter of the players as a Dagger Hero chapter. We can't deal with them as an Amp chapter. We can't deal with them as a Belagarth chapter. We can't regulate what they do as those. If they want to be known as a multiple thing, that's on them. But they're only contractually obligated to us, and we're only contractually obligated to them as Dagger Hero.
I slightly take issue with that.
Sorry, I was starting to cough.
I think the wording does need to be changed because I think it sounds too strict in our chapter contract because it says specifically you can only be Dagger here, and it really just needs to state as we're only dealing with you as Dagger here.
Well, that's what it should.
I would second that.
But the way it is now, we have lost chapters due to this issue.
Exactly, and it's a miswording of the chapter contract, and unfortunately, that was another thing that came down to we were waiting for legal review as an organization.
A bit of history. It's not a miswording, and it's not by accident. When Belagarth broke off from Dagger here, the intent was for this was purposefully created that way, forced people to decide whether their chapter would be called Daggerhear chapter or Balgarth chapter. I think our bargaining position at this point is gone.
Yeah.
I do think
it served
that,
a purpose at one point. Not anymore.
I do think that we do need to make the distinction though, for the chapters to have a distinct and just a very distinct a distinction. God damn it, words. A distinction between what legal entity that they're dealing with. New York, for example, does this very well. There is Novi Antiqui, the Daggerhear chapter, and there's Carthage, the Hearthlight chapter. So when we as Daggerhear need to go, hey, you guys need to address something, we're addressing Novi Antiqui. And not like what they're doing up in what is it, North Dakota or whatever, with that dual chapter that both contracts under the same
Bifrost.
organization. Like Bifrost, yeah, it's not. We should not allow what Bifrost is doing, because if we tell them to change something in their chapter contract or their bylaws or something, and the other game that they're under says no, don't do that, who do they follow here?
That's a very good point.
No, and again,
They go to?
it comes down to the vagaries of the language. I would like a contract attorney or a business attorney to make the distinction on how we should word it, to make it so that it can be legally binding in some way, shape, or form, or at least release us from liability in the event that somebody screws up. So we should be dealing with Bifrost, the Daggerhear chapter, not the Bifrost Foam Sports Organization. Just to use them as a vague issue.
I would second that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we need to have Daggerhear chapters defined. I just think that we might benefit from, for a long time, Daggerhear was the big dog. And I think we could benefit from embracing cross gaming, embracing other people from other games, and trying to, kind of change our marketing on that. Just because I don't think the whole, exclusivity to Daggerhear is really working.
Well, it has changed, and at least from the PR side of things, I know the legal side's still a little nebulous, but we've been kicking that rock down the road. But like, it used to be that no other games were allowed to post on the Daggerhear Facebook group, but I'm like, why? There is no reason why people who are interested in cross gaming to not know about those events on our stuff.
And more battles, more fighting, the better. So,
yeah.
Well, a lot of things have changed in the last 20 years. That's for sure.
And I'm really happy that Blood Moon is advertising on our site. That also gives me a lot of confidence that other organizations, other entities are actually feeling confident in us enough to advertise on us.
I appreciate you jumping in to defend Miak when the trolls were attacking him on our event page too. I saw that.
that was absolutely uncalled for, and I was very mad about that.
Yeah, if they have those questions and concerns, they need to take it to Hearthlight. That's
Yes,
not
yeah,
a Daggerhear
I'd
forum
appreciate
conversation.
I've got a short story for you if you want to hear it about Miak.
Is it appropriate?
Of course.
Save it till after the meeting.
Forum.
Oh, it's a fantastic story if you want to hear it.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Just bear in mind I'm still recording, Ericos.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
Okay,
So
go for it.
I've up until Thursday at Eclipse, I'd never met Miak in my life. Thursday evening I saw Miak, and I decided that I decided way before the Eclipse event that if I saw him, I would take the chance to talk to him. Thursday evening I saw him, and I introduced myself, and we had a fantastic conversation. Miak and I both are using the same location, Mountain Pines Campground, for our events. And we agreed, both in conversation Thursday evening as well as Friday during the day, that we would basically work with each other, sponsor each other's events, attend each other. Well, we didn't necessarily say we would attend each other's events, but the intention is there that we will. And to work with each other with the campground manager, Forrest, to coordinate how we will do things and so forth, and try to basically work with each other in a very symbiotic manner, and share our successes and failures for running our events. Well, I just wanted to say that it was a fantastic dialogue. I've never spoken with the man in person before, and I thought he's a great guy, and we look forward to working with him in the future.
Cool beans.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that.
Well, I mean, you guys are both using a great site that's willing to work with our types of organizations. And between Gates of Fire and Blood Moon, you've got two well-run events by two very respectful groups of people that are going to put forth the best image for what we do for that. So yeah, totally, go off of each other's strengths and everything, because what one does that's good is going to be good for the other one that does good things. It reflects positively on us as a whole. And now you're going to be doing a third event there, or second one for you, over the summer. It's just going to make it even better. I know that site loves you.
At this point in time, tomorrow, we've decided that we're not going to host a summer event in 2024. We're going to let 2024 play out and then figure out there.
Ah, okay.
And
Roger that.
I apologize to your lady. I should have contacted you before, like dropping this during a meeting, but this was all decided basically days before Eclipse. And Eclipse, we had a trip planned leading into Eclipse, and then a trip actually at the end of Eclipse. So we were basically super busy.
I did very much enjoy seeing.
Oh, to get out to the trailer?
Oh, I'm referring to the fact that I didn't send you any notice about the summer 2024 event.
Oh, I got you.
I've been absolutely buried.
It happens, real life.
It goes, yeah.
I did really much like seeing all the GTG symbols on the pictures from Eclipse, though.
Yeah, Eclipse was a really good time. Very well run. Anyway, let's digress back to setting a date for the next meeting. I would propose November 12th. That gives us time to test some of the things that we discussed in this meeting, and gives us some time before the next CC meeting to address them with what we need to.
Works for me.
Same time, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
What date? Sorry.
November 12th.
Looks good here.
That's Diwali, if that matters to anybody.
Well, it works for me.
I guess the big question is, anybody opposed?
Yeah, better question.
Yeah. One thing I will say, if you guys want to get people talking before the CC, I mean, we might not have a meeting, but if someone starts posting on that board, it gets pretty active. People read it. I mean, I'm sure we've seen the shitstorm. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be throwing enough stuff, and I'll probably just bring up the event calendar stuff beforehand. At least the event calendar stuff. We'll have. I think I'll wait for all of them to be gathered before I address them and be like, hey, let's actually work on coordinating some events, inter-chapter events.
And we're an hour and a half in, so I know some of you might have to jump. So I would motion to conclude the meeting. I'll still stay on if anybody wants to continue chatting. Seconded? Okay.
Seconded.
Perfect.
Second.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, recording is ending
you joining
now.
us.
Cool.